So yesterday on October 29th, Cursor IDE made two huge releases. Actually one release, but with two new huge features. So this is version 2 of Cursor IDE, and it looks like this when you open it. So it doesn't look like an IDE anymore. The layout has changed completely. And this is such a change because it takes us out of the file-driven IDEs, which was this one here. So Cursor still has the old view where you have the project files here, like where you create your files. You can open the terminal. So it's exactly the same as it was in version 1 of Cursor. But now the default view is this one here. So Cursor changed how you interact with your application when you do vibe coding, when you generate code with AI. Because before, you would use this terminal, this panel here to chat with the AI and instruct it, make me a Flask app with English to Spanish flashcards. Right, this is how you did it before, but now that message, you write it here, and it's a good move because you actually don't want to see the files all the time since you're doing this vibe coding thing. Right, so it gives you a much better user experience. You see the interaction in the first place with the AI. You see the messages, what it's doing in a big screen. Plus, you can also from here, you can press Ctrl B or Command B to see the project files, and so the side panel that you also see in the editor mode. So we have two modes now, and you can tweak this one, the agent mode, you can tweak it. And I was trying this yesterday for real work, and it actually is super intuitive and more satisfying to actually work on the agent interface. Now that was the first change. The second change is Cursor released a new model from Cursor. It's called Composer 1, and you can go to Auto. You can select that to switch off auto, and then you can select Composer, and this is a much faster model, and I was trying it. It's much faster than the other models. Sonnet 4.5, however, I tested both, and Sonnet 4.5 was still better than Composer. Composer is supposedly being improved, so we have to see in the future, but it's very fast, and I'll show you with a test here. Right, so for the Flask example I just created, this is now completed, so you see this button, keep all or undo all. So let's open the terminal, and I can create a virtual environment here. So Ctrl-Shift-B still works to search for commands. So create virtual environment. Yes, I want to select requirements to install packages for that virtual environment. So Cursor created a requirements.txt file, everything we need. And if I create a new terminal here, I can just run this Python app, it's main.py, and visit the app. And this is how it looks like. So start studying, study, show answer, no, yeah, that's easy, skip, water, I knew it, etc. So that is the app, and let's go back to Cursor. Now let's talk about the models. By the way, this keep all button here is if you want to keep the changes permanently, so you press that, and now it would be a good time to commit the changes with Git before you do anything else. Anyway, let's talk about the model now. So by default, I left the model as auto, but you can switch it to another model. So let's create a new agent window. So you can have multiple agents here, and you can create multiple chats. So here I created another chat, and you can go to auto and unselect that, and you can add modules by going down here. But to create multiple models, you need a Git repository. So I'm going to initialize a Git repository here with Git init. Right, that's done. So let's go now. This is activated, so I can switch it on, and I can, yes, I can select multiple models here. We get this 1x shown, so we can say for composer we want maybe two, so two composer modules, so two composer agents in other words, and maybe Sonnet and GPT-5 codecs from OpenAI. Let's try to apply a change to our website. Let's say make a user sign up login system. And you'll see that all agents start to work on that, and I'm sure that composers will be the fastest one. So both these two, they work differently. For example, composer 1, this first one, decided to have 8 to-dos, so 8 tasks. It broke down the main task into 8 tasks and composer 1 into 5 tasks. And yeah, now both composers are done. GPT codecs as well. Sonnet 4.5 is the slowest in my experience, and this is the case in this experiment also. So now, how this works is this. You go to a module, to an agent, and you say apply all, and then you go and reload your application. Now let's go to the home page to see. We need to install pip install Flask SQL Alchemy. And then run the app again. So there we have the sign up button. Yeah, you can sign up with username, user1, password, user123, user123, sign up. Yeah, it works. There is a logout button there, a login button here. Right, so that is composer 1. Now you go to undo apply and then go to another agent to see the output of the other ones, and then do apply to the other agent, refresh here, you see how that works. So it's same basically. Yeah, I don't see much difference here. Undo apply, go to Sonnet. Oh, Sonnet hasn't finished yet, so let's go to GPT-5 codecs. Now, GPT-5 codecs is asking questions here. What stack or framework we want to use. It's asking if we have a database set up or we want to create one, or other requirements. So in the long run, I think Codex is being careful here. It wants to make sure it builds a good architecture for this feature so that it pays off in the long run. And Composer was faster, it just gave you a quick solution, and we don't know what it used actually, if it used a database or not. So for that, you have to go to the editor and check the files. So you go to data, and it looks like it used a SQLite 3 database with .db files for the users and JSON for flashcards data, which is good. So it's a quick solution if you want something very fast and you want to be shipping things faster. But Composer, though, also has a plan option, so you can also chat with it and try to find the best solution for something before you actually modify the code base. So let's go to Sonnet anyway. Apply all, and let's refresh. Okay, so we need the Flask module. the Flask login module. So I'm going to install that and run again the app. And I don't see the sign up button there, even though this says click on sign up. If I go to manage cards though, it will ask me to log in and there is a sign up button, but it's not actually obvious anywhere on the page. So there's minus 1 point for Sonnet here. Not a very good job. But anyway, this is how this works now. So you undo something or apply it. So you undo Sonnet. And if you want to go with the first composer, you apply all. And you want to say overwrite here. Because we're using Git in this case. So now if we reload this, then we have the Composer 1 solution. And yeah, that's how it works. So that's in a nutshell how Cursor 2 works. Multiple agents and a much better interface. I like this personally. You always have the option to go back to the editor. And yeah, it costs around $20 per month. In my experience, the limits are much better than Cloud Code. So yeah, give it a try. Thanks. See you.